Hi everyone, I'm Mary Tracy Pawan from USD Malaysia Sabah. This is the topic of my research that I'll be presented in this conference, which is street food consumptions among local and tourists, the attribute of psychological factors. Here is the presentation outline of my presentation, which will include introduction, methodology, result and discussion, and conclusion. According to FAO 2007, street food is defined as ready-to-eat food and beverage that are prepared or sold in these street vendors or hawker in places with various types of food stalls such as push carts, roadside stand, and balance basket. In Kota Kinabalu, there is a noticeable increase of street food vendors, despite the presence of numerous modern restaurants. Therefore, it is important to investigate the factors such as psychological factors that affecting the intentions of food street consumption. This will help to identify which factors that affecting the intention to purchase the street food. There are two objectives in this study, which is to determine the street food consumption pattern among local and tourists, and second objective is to determine the influence of psychological factors towards street food consumption among local and tourists. Food plays a central role in society. Sharing food precedes most of the business dealing, and treating or inviting friends and family to dine out is a signal of social achievement. This trend goes from local to visitors, where there are several studies have found that food is one of the most important motivator for tourists to visit Malaysia. And this does not come as a revelation. Malaysian street food are so unique that is considered one of the best cuisine of the world according to CNN 2015. Street food in Kota Kinabalu, Sabah is considered as tourism product where the city council encouraged the arrange the dishes sell as it is a value added to the destinations. In this way, street food help the tourists to understand the relationship between food and destination and bridging the gap between the food provider and the tourist. This research employed descriptive study with quantitative approach. The scope of these studies has been carried out among local customers and tourists of street food at Kota Kinabalu, Sabah, at various locations. Questionnaire through the survey is being used as a data instrument. The unit analysis is an individual where the time frame for this research is it took 1 month for the data collections. A convenient sampling has been used to distribute this questionnaire to the target populations. Alright, so Kota Kinabalu was chosen as the location for this study because of its strategic location as a main city in Sabah. Besides that, the growth of the food service industry are getting higher for the past few years. The data has been keyed into statistical package for social science (SPSS) and was analyzed, and the descriptive mean has been used, which we using the analysis of the independent sample t-test to analyze the attribute of the psychological factors. These are the respondent characteristics from the picture, which shows that there are 64.8% female respondent compared to male, which is 35.3%, and there are 53.5% are local customer, and 46.5% is a tourist. Those are not local Sabahan. The age group among all the customer, majority there are those who 20 to 24 years old, which is 35.8%. These are the majority group, age group of customers that can be can be found at the consume the food street. For the educational level, there are 42.5% of the customer have their degrees, and it follows by 28.8% have the certificate. For the occupations, majority of the customer they are working private, and follows by the government, which is 23%. This is the finding for the street food consumption pattern. Based on the finding, it shows that total expenditure of the customer at the food streets, most of them spend around 1 to 25% of their of their money, which is 41.5%. And the locations to buy street food, mostly they are purchasing street food at the informal street, which is those stalls, alright, around Kota Kinabalu area, in the Pasar Malam, or we call it as Pasar Malam. So majority, okay, they consumes or the food street is from that area, the informal street, followed by the street kitchen, which is 37.5%. The main reason why customer purchase street food, because majority saying that they are cheap, okay, which is affordable to buy, and it is very convenient, means that they can easily find it, okay, in the at the own place. All right, so it is very easy to, it is very convenient for them. And 60% saying that it is attractiveness as ours, as Kota Kinabalu. Okay, street food offers variety type. Okay, you can find it from the seafood till various local dishes, and those kueh muih. Next finding for these studies is based on the analysis of the independent sample t-test. It shows that there is the significance, okay, it shows that the significance is above 0.05, which is 0.4 to 1, okay, and it shows that there is no significant difference of psychological factor of affection between local and tourists. This is because they are homogeneous, means that for the affection, both of the group find that this these affections uh, is almost the same. Okay, they rate it almost the same level. This finding shows that both of the group saying that street food in Kota Kinabalu makes them is a fun experience and makes them feel good. This is based on the item in the affections. And they think that eating street food in Kota Kinabalu can change their mood positively, and it makes them feel excited. Next finding is based on the analysis, it shows that the significance is more than 0.05, which is 0.390, and this result shows that there is no significant difference of psychological factor of hygiene between local and tourists. And this finding shows that both groups perceive hygiene is the same, as at the same level, where they found out that the street food in Kota Kinabalu is hygienic and they are not afraid of getting sick from street food in Kota Kinabalu. Food stand and cart in Kota Kinabalu are clean and well organized. And they found out that street vendors in Kota Kinabalu are well groomed and clean. Next finding of this study is, based on the result, it shows that the significance is below 0.05, which is 0.0. And this analysis shows that there was significant difference of psychological factor of food quality and local tourists. Both local and tourists perceive food quality at different level. For the local, they perceive that the street food in Kota Kinabalu is easy for them to eat and is healthy and nutritious. Meanwhile, for the tourists, they perceive street food in Kota Kinabalu is visually attractive and it is and it has a good taste. Next finding shows that the significant level of this analysis is 0.0 and it shows that there was significant difference of psychological factor of service quality between local and tourists. Okay, this shows by the mean of local 3.99, meanwhile tourist is 3.73 at the mean difference of 0.257. And it shows that both of these groups perceive service quality at different level, where it shows that street food in Kota Kinabalu is unique and exotic, and they found out that the tourists found out that there is a big variety of street food portion in Kota Kinabalu, and street food vendor in Kota Kinabalu provide them a fast service. Meanwhile, for the local customer, they perceive that the service quality, okay, the street food venue are conveniently located around Kota Kinabalu, where they easily find it, okay, and it makes them very convenient, and this finding is aligned with the street food pattern that has been presented earlier. Street and then at the it is easy to order meal at the street food venue in Kota Kinabalu, and street food vendor in Kota Kinabalu are friendly, and this has the highest mean in the service quality. Street food is more attractive to consumer than a formal restaurant except for a special occasion because the location of street food business is located beside the road that consumer can purchase food easily, and some area the consumer just park the vehicle in front of food stall, and this has aligned with our finding where most of the customer, both local and the both local customer and the tourists, they found out that the street food in Kota Kinabalu is very convenient. Thus, this study will enhance the managerial local authority of local government to understand the culture of street food in Kota Kinabalu, especially in learning the consumption pattern. The cooperation among the consumer, street vendor, and local authority is the most important to solve street food problem today. It is hoped that future study will examine consumer concern when purchasing street food. Thank you for listening to my presentation and do come visit us in Sabah. See you.